Hey, welcome back, Mr. Smith Garage. In the garage again with Jack. 81 Vanagon. The goal today, I think, is to get it smogged. So obviously we got to do some cleanup. I need to get a seat in there so that I have the seat belt. This is California, so gotta make sure it's roadworthy. Roadworthiness includes a seat belt that will actually hold you to something. So I'll put one of the seats in there. I need headlights. I don't necessarily need indicator lights because I can use my hand signals. I learned that in my class, turn, slow down. Anyway, and then I do need to get some kind of lights in the tail. I've got a permit to be able to drive it down to the smog place. It's only a couple miles, but it does happen to be in kind of a speed trap area, so there are police, and so I want to make sure I'm legal enough to not get in trouble. Don't need any doors or windows, but need some of that other stuff. So anyway, we're gonna start cleaning this out. We'll get it roadworthy, and I'll take it from there. All right, thanks for joining Mr. Smith Garage. I appreciate my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, join the fun. Okay, so first step, headlights. Got headlights. Now let's see if they actually work. Oh, and then I also got a seat in there. I still need to vacuum it, but let's put our battery on. Should be no problems here, right? No issues. Headlights on. Okay, I got some kind of light on, but no lights up front. Wonder if it needs to be key in the on position. Ah, it does. Oh, look at that. My windshield wipers are even working. Okay. Headlights work. Turn those off. Headlights work. Now we got to put the taillights in. And for that, I need to go to the back of the vehicle. I need to find my tail light. Oh, I see them down there. Way buried in there. I got a couple taillights in there. All right, let's go to the taillights. Okay, so because I am driving possibly the most illegal looking vehicle on the road, I want to make sure that everything's completely kosher. So I put the old lights back on so you can see there's red, right? And then if I turn on the blinkers, it's still not going to blink. But, oh, it is blinking. Look at that. Because they're not LED, so it's not shortening them out. Oh, yeah. So my back ones work, but I can still do my hand motions. Okay. I don't know if the brake lights work, but I'm hoping that they do. I got everything cleaned up here. I'm going to do a quick vacuum job, start it up, and then run it for a little bit, idle, make sure everything's working okay before I hit the road. I'm also going to put some real shoes on just in case I need to do some walking, and we'll take a little tool bag here just in case we need to do any fiddling with tools. I think I am going to leave the doors on. I think we're ready to hit the road. Got my paperwork. Let's do this. Alright, well, it's running well, and hopefully our drive down there will just give it a little warm up and we won't have any issues. That's the hope anyway. Smells a little gassy, but I haven't run it for a couple weeks, so let's see if... Oh, that's right, I can't shut the door. I have to shut it with this little latch. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, well, we got all the way down to the smog place, A1, and I hear my brake rubbing again back there. Anyway, some problems with it that I need to fix before I get it smogged, so we'll work on those. One of the problems is my idle is too high. Yeah, the idle's just way too high right now. But hey, the successful part is I made it all the way down there and back. See what's that now. So it's at 1200 RPM. I need it down at 900 RPM. Figure I could do that with the fuel. That's completely closed. Open a little bit. EGR, which there could be. See, I just pushed it a little bit and it Okay, so a couple things. We're gonna do some timing. I got this loosened up. This was really hot. My case is really hot. How hot is it? 142. So yeah, 147 on this side of the case, and then that side of the case is 137. That's interesting. Why is it so hot? Is that hot or not? I don't know. I'm just checking some different things. That's 109, 87, 127. Fans 110, which it should be. Let's see what the intake or the heads are. 180. 4. Let's see what this one is at the intake manifold. 110. I need to change this hose out. Can't have heater hose. Have to have emissions hose. So I bought, fuel injection system hose. $20 right there. I got to replace this one and this one, is what he said. I also need to hook up, my cold start needs to be hooked up into the fuel system, so in order to pass smog. So I got to hook that back up. He said that it may not necessarily be the cold start valve that's a problem. It could be the electronics, or it could be the, what was that thing that he was talking about? Oh, the thermal thing, which is down. Can you see that down there? I'll point at it with a red light. That right there is the thermal valve. Wait, can you see it right there? I'm trying to get the right angle on the camera. That thing right there is the thermal valve. It's down here, and it could be bad. It's down there in between the intake manifold. Hey, all right, welcome back. Another day. It's early in the morning. It's not that early. I want to say it's 7 a.m. almost. Look how dark it is, though. Whew. It's raining. It's cold. It's like 49 degrees, which is perfect. So I think I might have a problem with my Thermo Time Switch. So the Thermo Time Switch, I'm just going to show you where it's at. In fact, let me see if I can get something long to point at it. So if you can see where my socket's going here, it is right there. It's that brown connector, and then it's attached to a brass Thermo Time Switch, which for fuel injection, it's set at 35 degrees Celsius for 8 seconds. That might be my problem. So I'm going to look around. I think I have one somewhere, you know, in this. So I'm going to try to find the Thermo Time Switch that I have. In fact, where is that motor? I wonder if I left it attached to this motor. Let's take a look. Let's hook this up somewhere. Okay. Oh, look at that score! Look at that. I got another Thermo Time Switch. Well, that just made that easy. So that Thermo Time Switch, I went out online and looked, and it's like, okay, so I ordered one from Parts Geek or something, because it said that it is going to work. It doesn't show up until Monday or Tuesday. It was only like $20. But as I started researching a little bit more, here, let me show you this in the light. That's what it looks like. Oh, I hope that one works. When I started researching them more, I found out that they're obsolete now, and at least from all the places that I've been reading, and the ones that are out there that are replacements for it are like $170, $220. It's like some different prices, but prices that are just ridiculous. So I was gonna even go to the smog place and see, is there a limit in California that you have to spend before you don't have to spend anymore? So I was going to check that out. But anyway, now that I have that one, I wonder if that one works. So what we're going to do is we'll have to take the distributor out to get to it. But I think if you take the distributor out, I can get to it underneath there. And you can unscrew it, pull it out, put the other one in, plug it in, and see if it works. Because what's happening, I think, is I'm plugging this in. It's getting 12 volts the whole time, and the Thermo Time Switch is supposed to cut it off if it's at a certain temperature. It adds it if it's at below a certain temperature, but it cuts this cold start when you hit a certain temperature. I think it's 35 degrees Celsius. Oh, I can't tell you how excited I am to find this piece. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this writing or not, but okay, so it says Bosch, Germany, 1079. So that's probably when it was made, October of 1979. This one says 043906-163A. It's got a VW and Audi symbol. And that's where it tells you it's 35 degrees Celsius, 8 seconds, 12 volts, 40 watts. Okay. So I'm going to see if in the Bentley there's a way to test this, which I'm sure there is. So I'm going to see if there's a way to test this. This is the one that I got off of the motor. I am so excited that I had that sitting on there. That's amazing. So it goes right here in the middle of the block, which, remember I was saying on the video how hot the block was getting? It's an aluminum block, but it was getting pretty hot when I ran it down to get the smog done. So yeah, so if that's my problem, that'll be awesome to fix. So I'm going to see if there's a way to test that in Bentley. I'll let you know. To get to this part that I so luckily found on my spare engine, it's a 24 mil. I thought it was 25, but it's 24 mil. And it does fit in this deep socket. I need to get back underneath the cold start to get it off. The cold start that I got was this cold start from Injector Rehab. I got it from Ken at Vanagon because he sells these, but this is also the injectors from Injector Rehab, the new ones that he sells. But I don't really like how that cold start fits. Take a look at that and see how I had to move it sideways so that went, one fuel line went down and it loops around to this one, and then this one loops back over to here. And it really only gives me this much play for timing, like to there, that's it. The stock injector is at least, let's see here, it's at least 20 millimeters smaller, and it's the cord that comes off the back, or the electrical that comes off the back. This actually may be good. What I might be having problems with is this Thermo Time Switch, and if that's the case, I'll probably take off this Injector Rehab injector. But to get to the Thermo switch down there, I'm going to take off the Injector Rehab injector. I'm going to take off the distributor, and that'll give me a lot more access. You can see I already loosed up this distributor. Watch when I take this off. If I can go. Oh, I don't know with that hose there, if I can get that thing. Pull this back just a little bit. There we go. Get that out of my way. And let's put something down there so I don't drop anything in there. And yeah, I'm going to take that injector off of there just because it's just in the way. Move a little bit. Let's see. I think that's probably gone down the hole. I don't want that to happen. Okay, let's loosen this a little bit. I can move it to get back here. I think if I were going to do this again, I would put the Oetiker clamps to this side, just because this, putting them over here gets in the way of that vacuum advance a little bit more. Well, you can see now that I've got this off of here, I think I truly am going to take this off. I just don't like the way that it loops all around there, and it's just in the way of my distributor. So let's get that off. Okay, so we got that cold start off. We put the existing one back on because maybe it does work, and it was just having a problem with the Thermo Time Switch. I think I mentioned that. But let's take that Thermo Time Switch off. So we're going to take the electrical off of it. Don't lose that clip. So see, again, there's something that could fall down that hole. Okay, so this clip goes on over the top of this. And when you push it on that new Thermo Time Switch, it'll work. So now we just have to see if I can get this socket on there. Okay, so we're using 24 millimeter. I can just barely get it on there. Let's see if that worked or not. Yep, it did. So now, the key thing here is that mine is clean because I cleaned it before I put it all back together. So it was on there tight, but it's clean. That might be a really, it wasn't as easy to get it off that old engine that I had. So here's the one that I have. Now this one has a little copper. Oh, does my other one have that? Oh, it does. It's already on there. Okay. So there we go. I just want to see if it has the same, yep, the same part number. It's a little different part number, but it is 35 Celsius at 8 seconds. And it does say 12 volt, 40 watt. Oh, there's the same part number. Interesting. Okay, so it does have that part number. But this one was done in March of 82. So, okay, we'll pull this one out. We'll put this one in and see if it all works, huh? That should be tight enough. Okay, find that notch. The notch is down. And that's it. That's replacing the Thermo Time Switch. Now, I actually have the little rubber piece that goes on here that I bought, but I don't want to take this apart because it's not leaking anymore. So I think I'm just going to leave it with this little square piece that I made, that little square to keep the hot air down. Okay, so let's see. So the only thing I haven't done is I haven't hooked up my gas. I haven't tightened my gas things here, but I will. And then we'll put the distributor back in and we'll give it a go. And we'll plug this puppy in and see if it works, huh? In fact, we'll plug that in now. And let's put this in. Okay, and then the distributor goes in. You'll see down here, there's a certain spot where it'll fall in there. And if you can't get it to pop in there, we can take the lid off. And yeah, let's do that. And move the rotor just a little bit and then it'll fall in. There we go. Let's see how that is down there. We'll get the Hall sensor plugged in. I think I'd like to move this to where it's pointing at number 1 at top dead center. And that way I can figure out where top dead center is and 5 degrees behind and all that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I was going to move this rotor around to number 1, but I noticed my belt is super loose. And Jim and I talked about that. To adjust it, I need to get to the, there's a bolt here, so I think I need to take this out, which means I need to take this out. So there's a couple things I need to take out to get deep in there. So let's see if I can get this one off first. There we go. Those are just plastic. And then I need to just see if there's still a hole there or not. Yeah, I think I have to take it out to get to that. Yeah, because there's no hole through here. There's a screw hole, but not a hole for adjusting. But now you can see down here there will be, oh, I could vacuum that stuff out too. See right there, there's an Allen wrench. So that's my adjustment for the alternator. Oh, looks like that could be an adjustment too there. Oh yeah, because that doesn't slide over there, but this does slide. Okay, so let's see how this works. That's a 13 mil. I wonder if sliding down makes it tighter. Well, let's just see. Let's go get a 13 mil. All right, I'm not quite sure what you can see in here, but I loosened this one so that that's got, oh, do I have to put something on this? No, I don't think I do. I just loosen that one, but it also makes this tight. Oh, maybe there's, so it should pivot there. But there's that bolt that's in here that I need to keep loosening. It's pretty loose. If that goes down, does it make that tighter? Oh, it does make that tighter. Look at that. So I have to make that go down to make it tighter. So we're going to use a pry bar right here. Actually, I'm going to use this big screwdriver because it seems to work. When I push this down, it tightens that belt. See if you can see this. Sorry. See how that belt tightens when I push this down? Okay. Then we're going to tighten this one. That's much better, and I should be able to move the crank, which will move the rotor on the distributor here. So let's see if this moves the crank now. Yep, it's moving the rotor. You can see right over here. So I'm trying to get the rotor lined up with the notch that's right there. If you can see that notch right there. That'll be number 1 at top dead center. Okay, so now that I've got it close, I'm coming down here to the to the pulley. And so those little red lines that I have right there, and TDC on this one is right it's not lined up with the block. See where it's right there, 0? That's where I want those at. And that'll be at 0 TDC. Okay. Let's see when I get to 0. That should be top dead center number 1. Because we're at 0 right there. And that's our top dead center. And then I do have a notch back here though. Oh, you know what I bet you I did? Is this line is the case. I bet you that's TDC. I bet you I did it that way, huh? So I've been going off the wrong lines for timing. Let's see where we're at here. Well, no. I mean, that's if we're. But see, I think it should be back over here a little bit more interesting. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but see, here's the mark, and I think our timing should be back a little bit here, and that means that we still have to keep going a little bit. So let's move it. Oh, now I don't know. I need to look at the Bentley because I think that notch is TDC. That's right there. But I'm trying to figure out what I did this mark for. It looks like that's probably about right for where if I was trying to mark it at the case. I need to go back to my engine build and look at that and see what we're doing. I did learn a few things yesterday. Went inside, did some reading on the old Bentley, and let's move it back here. The notch, which is here, is TDC. So I'm pretty sure I did this as a mark, maybe on the, I don't know. We're gonna move it to the notch to TDC because that's what it is. Okay, so the notch, that's my timing mark. I'm gonna put some white on that notch. So I'll go find some white paint or maybe some fluorescent pink paint, put it on there so that when we are running, we can see that. All right, so I got a little pink, what do you call it? Fluorescent pink in the notch. I'm hoping that that shows up better than my other TDC marks that I have there. I've got a 5 degree above top dead center, and I also marked 7 degrees below top dead center because I want to say that's what the guy at the Smog place told me that the 81 needed to be at was 7 degrees below top dead center. He said it probably wipes out 20 horsepower, but it makes it so that it works. So we've got the cold start in, the Thermo Time Switch in, and then see here we're pointing at my mark that's right there. So that's my TDC mark. And let's make sure we're on it still. We're just going to tighten this up, put it on, and see if it'll start. All right, we have been quite busy at work, as you can see. All the things I've needed here to try to get some of this stuff resolved. Okay, so I got this thing sitting up a little higher, hoping it won't catch. Yeah, shouldn't catch on anything. We've tightened up the EGR. This is in neutral position now. Uh-oh. Let's make sure that can clip on. That's in a neutral position, which means it should be closed. We're going to see if that gets hot or not. I was not familiar with that piece. We've got our old cold start on. We've got the replacement. What are we calling that? Thermo Time Switch, and we've got this set to 0. We'll see if this starts. Hopefully. Cold start might come in handy. Dumping some fuel in there. Oh yeah, look at that. Dumping stuff out. So, not sure if that cold start was working or not. Just take a look at some of this. So, okay, so that's coming out of my exhaust. Is it fuel? No, just water. That's coming out of my exhaust. But I don't think it started doing that until I plugged in the cold start. Well, you never know what could be wrong, right? Sometimes you just gotta keep trying, figure it out. I think my timing's pretty off because it just seems like it was... Oh, what was that? Oh, that was just this thing. I think my timing's off. I'm gonna advance it a little bit. I didn't even look at the timing light, but just seemed like it was dogging it. Let's see what we can do here. See if I can run it long enough to do some timing on it. idle's where it's supposed to be. Our pressure's good. I don't have a temperature sender set up yet. Yeah, idle's where it's supposed to be. Interesting. Sounds like a dog. It's getting hot again. So what the guy told me is that if this is getting hot, it means that the exhaust is going through it, and I might have a leak in here. I think that's what we're going to do, is turn this off and take this apart, see if I need to do some new gasket material in there. But I think we got our timing set where we want it for -7. Well, the saga continues. That is definitely where it's leaking. This is a seal, some kind of a rubber seal that is supposed to keep that from leaking, and it certainly would leak if it looks like that. So I think what I'm going to do is go talk to the guy at the Smog place and ask him, how much money do I have to spend before I don't have to smog it anymore? Yeah, we'll see how that goes. This may be the end of this video. Just so that I don't prolong it any longer. Thanks for watching Mr. Smith Garage. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue the saga of the 2.0 air-cooled motor, getting it going. Did I ever tighten this? No, I didn't. All right. That's where we're at. All right, thanks for watching.